Fishing is one of the most popular mechanics in indie games. In fact, it's so popular that it's been making its way to mainstream AAA games. And that means my game is no different. I'm adding a fishing mechanic. Let's hop into it. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this fishing mechanic has been brutal. It was brutal just to conceptualize on the way I wanted to do it, and like there's just so many different ways to make a fishing mechanic nowadays. So trying to make one that actually stands out and that is fun to play is kind of hard. But I spent a lot of time working on it and I'm happy with where it is now. Even though it still needs a little bit of work, I think it's good enough for the time being. So how exactly did I get started with this? So at the start of this devlog, I was actually messing around with my furniture placement system and I actually ended up releasing the game to Steam, which depending on when this video comes out, that was 3 weeks ago. So it's taken me quite a little bit just to get this mechanic done. But I was making a lot of good progress. I ended up making a furniture placement system, and I even added on to that during this video. But in the end, it finally hit me. It's time for me to make the fishing mechanic. So that's exactly what it did. I started with the art. You see, going into this fishing mechanic, I already had in my mind kind of like a basic concept of what I wanted to do. I know I wanted it to be like a UI element, kind of similar to Stardew Valley in the way this like little UI element pops up, but I wanted it to be a little bit different. I don't want the main focus of the game to be focused on fishing because it is a cooking game. And while fishing is going to be the main focus of getting all your ingredients, it's important that both of these intertwine together. And that's why I'm introducing this new UI system to the game. I plan to use this UI system like while you're cooking, while you're chopping up vegetables and all sorts of things like that, or if you're gathering other ingredients. I kind of want all the mini games to kind of feel the same, and that's why I'm doing this UI system as a mini game. But even though I wanted to get the fishing mechanic done, I needed to record some videos, and I usually leave that for Monday. So going into day 2 of this devlog, it was time for me to record some videos. So I set up everything and I got to recording. I've been putting in a lot of effort into the YouTube channel lately, and honestly, I'm really happy with how it's coming. I honestly just want to thank you guys so much for watching all my videos. It does mean a lot to me, and I'm super excited to talk to all of you about my game that's coming up. Which, if you could, the best way to support me right now is to go wishlist my game on Steam. I have a goal of trying to get 2,000 wishlists before I release it, and I am nowhere near it. So if we can hit that goal, that would mean so much to me. But nevertheless, we have a fishing mechanic to make. Before I can actually hop into making the fishing mechanic, I just wanted to do a little bit of an update to my Discord. So I did actually spend a lot of time working on my Discord this day, and I couldn't get as much of work done as I wanted to, but I did get some work done after this. So I spent a majority of this day actually working on all of the art and getting a lot of progress done on everything that I need before I can actually make the mechanics. I even added this cool little like camera movement thing. I'm sure there's a bunch of other ways to go about actually making this mechanic, but I have a lot of fun just kind of making my own mechanics the way I want. So I ended up putting just like an empty game object and attach it to my character, and then whenever I want to reference it, I just switch my cinemachine follow method to that game object. And honestly, I think it makes a pretty cool transition. But before I can end this night, I actually want to show you this cool plant I got. I'm not really like a plant person or into planting, but I got this plant and I'm trying to keep it alive as best as possible. I have killed a bunch of other plants before this, but having this plant on my desk is just a nice little relaxation thing. It's just nice to look at and it reminds me of nature, obviously. But I don't have a name for it, so if you guys have any name ideas, let me know. I actually released a blog on my Steam page about my fishing mechanic. I have all the art done for it now and I'm actually pretty happy with it, but I still have a lot more finalizing to do. See, all of the art works and it's kind of there and some of the animations are there, but now I need to actually polish it and finalize it. But I'm realizing I haven't really discussed about what it's supposed to be. So basically, I want you to be able to walk up to the water, throw out your fishing hook, and then a little UI is going to pop up. It's going to show you a close-up on the bobber and show you exactly what's going on the bobber's end. The idea is for you to see some like fishies floating around, swimming around, and then one will come up to your bobber. It might bite it, it might not, and then if it does and you catch it, you'll be able to pull it back. Or if you're too late, you won't pull anything back. I kind of took a lot of inspiration from like games like Animal Crossing and other games like that. I just feel like they have a really cozy vibe and a very simple fishing mechanic, which is what I want to go for since I want the main focus to be on cooking. And I spent a lot of this day honestly just working on the code. Nothing really exciting happened, and It was just a couple of hours just sitting here and coding and honestly, I didn't end the day very happy. I was actually kind of bummed with how it ended. And I planned on coming back to it the next day because honestly, I just wasn't happy with it. So just to get a little bit of that frustration out, I did actually start making a new character. I do want to add a bunch of other characters to the game, and honestly, raccoons are on the top of my list. So I started prototyping this little raccoon character, and I based them a lot off the otter. I'm not finalized with them yet, but this is kind of where we're at with them. And now we're finally on the home stretch of this whole thing. I figured out a few little things that I wanted to fix, and I'm feeling a lot better with how the fishes are actually moving now, because before they weren't really moving the best. And before I even talk any more about the fishes, I'm just gonna change the art. There's so many different things I could say about it, but just know I'm changing the art, and a lot of this is just placeholder. But for now, I was just trying to figure out the fish's movement patterns and stuff like that, which also needs a little bit of tweaking. So I spent the majority of the day just getting in the last of the fish's art, and then honestly I just sat here and coded up the rest of the mechanic. No one really tells you how much polishing takes in video games. It takes so much time to polish mechanics, and I'm still not really done with it. But after I spent that long day of just working on the mechanic, I'm finally getting to a point where I'm about done with it, or at least ready to move on for the time being. So this is where we are. This is the final fishing mechanic that's in the game right now. I feel like I still have a bunch to add to it. So if there's anything that you guys feel particularly strong about with my fishing mechanic, then let me know below in the comments. And if you guys want to support my game at all, then consider wishlisting it on Steam. It would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next devlog. Peace out.